Hi guys, I just ran out of fuel, so we're going to be checking out some C-Class cars today. Starting with my favorite one, the max upgraded Lexus GS. Which is really nice. The last race in the open series of the C-Class is Weinberg Classic Race 3 laps, so it's going to be a very long race, I told you. Especially with the steering wheel, and it's quite hard too. But I'm pretty sure we can get done with the Lexus GS, so I hope you enjoyed this video. We did all the D-Class cars, and we're finally to the C, which starts to have some hot cars, like the Audi TT or the RS5, M2, and this little fella. Now, this is a max upgrade, 420 CP GS. Nothing in the world of the Lexus GS could be better. Why did I upgrade a Lexus GS to the maximum? That I actually have no idea. Because it's this car is actually a luxury sedan, so therefore the speed, the acceleration, and handling might be a little bit worse than the cars like the TT. But for some reason, I thought I really like the design of this car, so that's why I actually max upgraded it. And you can see it's well, although we passed a lot of cars, you can see we're 11th. A little bit of the car information: Lexus GS is one of the upper scale midsize cars. Well, depends on what you call upper scale midsize cars, but usually they define upper scale midsize cars as cars in midsize over 30 grand. So I guess this is one of the midsize luxury cars, and this car got voted the USA's top 3, I believe, best luxury car, along with 2 with the Hyundai Genesis. It's a very nice car, luxury car. And it is also my most used vehicle actually. Because I bought the Opel and then I saved money and bought this, so it was a huge evolution for me. So this is actually my most used vehicle, yeah. So, and I actually saw a couple of GS's, I mean the brand new versions, and they seemed quite small to me. I mean, I saw the 450, but it was quite small, so I was disappointed. But I really like the design of the GS. In fact, I actually prefer the design of the GS to the design of the ES or the LS, which is saying something. Since one race is like 6 minutes long, I don't think we're going to be able to review a lot of C-Class cars today, although we have all of them. So we're going to probably do the M2, which might be the most popular, and the Volkswagen CC. So be sure to keep that in mind. And a bit more background information about this car. Like I said earlier on, it is a fully sized, it's a mid-sized luxury car, way bigger than the cars like the Evo, which we're trying to overtake. So therefore, this car is heavy, even for its size. So this car actually has a pretty low top speed of 250, which is quite slow compared to the other cars in that bracket, like the RS5 or the TT, which both were something like 280 or 290. But this one I max upgraded, so therefore the top speed is 276. But you still can't beat the other cars when upgraded, like the TT or the RS5. So actually, I know I max upgraded this car, but I don't actually suggest you to max upgrade it because it is a rear wheel drive and it's a little bit hard to control. And also this car has a pretty low handling and the slow acceleration because it's a heavy car. Then what are the good things about this car? I'm not really sure, but I think for the fact that when you're slamming the other opponents, since this car is a sedan, it usually beats most of them. And I think that is an affirmative in this car. The only affirmative. And I really don't suggest this car in multiplayer, especially when you max upgrade it, because you're going to have to be racing B-Class cars or cars like TT or RS5, and I guarantee you cannot win a single multiplayer race with this car unless you're a total legend. And the way I see it, if you are still in C-Class, you're not a total legend, so don't use this car in multiplayer. In fact, TT and RS5 is a much more better alternative, so if you're to keep that in mind, what I mean is that don't use this car in multiplayer. It'll do you fairly well in career, but never use it in multiplayer. You'll just end up losing your, what do you call it, ranks. Now I guess it's time to go into the luxurious interior of the GS. You can see it's very nice. I'm kind of sick of it because I looked at it too much. We don't seem to be doing so good. You can see the watch and all of that. And actually, I rode the real GS a lot. It's one of my, I don't know what to call it, but I rode the GS a lot. And the interior is actually quite accurate. But the walnut interior wood, you can see right there, is one of the premier options. So this car is pretty nice. In the real world, it will be. So we seem to be doing pretty good. Second. We had taken the leap, now we're second, but yeah. This car has been repainted quite a lot of times by me because I couldn't make up my mind. The car looked great on everything, and then I was changing my mind every single second. It was first white the way it came, and then I changed it to black, gray, and finally red. Because I thought, like I said in the team versus videos, I think the Lexus GS kind of fits the woman more than the men. For some reason, it looks that way to me. The car looks more womanish. That's why I made it red. And I think it's just excellent. It's really excellent. Yeah. Now, since we are nearing the end of our last lap, I'm gonna talk about the recommendations for this car. Now, from C-Class, the car's prices start to get high. And I don't actually suggest this car to be the first. You can get the... I think I actually would recommend the TT more. Because the GS, I mean, it'll do career perfectly well like the other cars, but in multiplayer, the TT is much more better. The TT will do a lot of TT will do well in multiplayer like the other Audi cars, like the A3 or the RS5. So, although this is a very nice car, I actually recommend a TT a little bit more because owing to the multiplayer circumstances. But it is a really nice car. I mean, look at that. So you're gonna. And like I said, if you want to complete the challenges, you're going to have to get all the cars. So be sure to check this thing out because it's totally sick. It's a beautiful car. And if you drive a real Lexus GS, well, that's good for you, right? I mean, I love Lexus GS. So are we going to do first? It depends on how well we do. I really love this car, although it kind of looks a little bit weird, like the in the game, like the rear bumper. It looks a little bit too large for the body, if you know what I mean. I don't know. It could be just me. But the car kind of, I mean, the car a little bit seems fat in the underside, but that's that. So this was a long review of the Lexus GS, owing to the fact it's the longest track with 3 laps. So hope you enjoyed it and it wasn't too long, and I shall see you in the next video. So peace out.